being responsible for the collective gives you a greater satisfaction than just looking after yourself. The scrutiny, the media scrutiny is 20 times more. Probably winning football games, but being clear and on everything that you want to do, being, have a clear philosophy, a clear way of doing things, and being very driven, I think. No, I think you have to set targets of achievable goals, that you have a plan of how you do it, whether that's a regular points tally, whether that's to hit certain markers, KPIs, for example, then yeah, I think that's important. If you just take game by game, I think it becomes more sporadic. Miserable. I probably would have been something like a PE teacher or something like that. I was always big in sport, and I wanted to be involved in sport one way or another. And look, education is important wherever you do. Even if you have I've been very fortunate to be in football for 34 years now, and education is very, very important, even for those who are in it for all their life. Education teaches you certain skills that you're going to need wherever you do. But more importantly, if your career is cut short or it comes to a natural end and you need something different, then education is the building block in which you can achieve a goal or achieve a job. Oh yeah, plenty. I played with someone like Moheta Molango, for example, who was studying to be a lawyer when he was a footballer. Now he's the head of the PFA. So he was studying all along his life. So lots of players I've managed, coached, or played with, I've always been looking at the next stage of their career, and that's just sensible, really. The scrutiny, the media scrutiny is 20 times more. The audience and everything. I wouldn't say the pressure, because pressure for winning games is exactly the same at whatever level. But you've already mentioned the quality and stuff. But the media scrutiny is so much more. I actually love it, because I'm that type of person that still throws myself into environments and loves seeing new people, new places, whatever that is. And anyone, I think, relocating, one has to have an open mind, two has to immerse themselves, I think, in that. But just to have people to help them to do that, I think, is a bit of advice, because sometimes you can't just do that. Have a plan on how you can enhance your life there, whatever that is. That could be a gym, that could be a social group, or whatever it is. But it's a big thing in life, really, to relocate. But it can be a wonderful thing, and I found that out really throughout my career. Work hard, probably. I mean, everyone who's successful. I mean, there's loads of bits of advice, and it's very difficult to say one, but the one that every person, a human being in history that's been successful, I think, has worked hard. So there's a trend there. Again, work hard, be clear on what you want to do, and then learn. They have to learn. There's no God-given right to you actually being a player that you're going to be a good manager. But what you do is you have a little bit of a head start, because you understand how football works, you understand how players work, and you've played in games where where the fundamentals you should be able to pass on. But there's no God-given right. Not some of the best players don't make the best managers. But as you see, some people who've never had careers or haven't had stellar careers turn into some of the best managers. So for me, it's all about learning. So if they can learn how to be that, then you do. All the playing career does is just gives you an education that others won't have had, but it's not the be all and end all. I've been very fortunate to have a number of really, really big ones in terms of playoff finals, promotions, and so on. So the most euphoric moment probably was any one of the promotions I've had. I've been fortunate enough to have five promotions. Beating Man City in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup was really good, considering the magnitude of who I was up against. But every day really has been phenomenal to be privileged to be in football. But I've loved to have managed Messi or Ronaldo, and because of what they are. So yeah, I probably would say Messi. So many things, but I want to be the best I can be. I set out to just be the best version of myself, and I've tried to do that. I've tried to be authentic throughout my life. and I've tried to go as far as I possibly can. And so I think to be the best version of myself I can be. There's so many. Just the fact you work in football, the industry, the sport itself is the greatest sport on earth. So to be paid to do that is a wonderful privilege. There's probably a million things I wouldn't be able to say. The most shocked, I once saw a manager step onto the pitch and stop a counter attack. That's probably the most shocked I've ever been. It's pretty much work hard. Have a plan, have a goal. What do you want to achieve? Be clear on what you want to achieve, and then really work hard and work as hard as you possibly can. Gain as much advice as you can. Filter that advice, but keep working hard. My managing career, which is ironic because I loved being a player. I absolutely loved being a player, but sometimes being responsible for the collective gives you a greater satisfaction than just looking after yourself. Manic.